Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and describe to you really easy how to do this. So in the previous video, if you haven't watched it yet, definitely take a look. But effectively there's a lot of feudal lords, and you could think of feudal lords as brand and business owners. It could be a feudal lord who in the form of a, like a neighbor who needs some job done. It could be the feudal lord that is also a business owner of some local snow removal shop. It could be the feudal lord of a digital feudal lord who's in a commerce store. It could be a digital feudal lord who is in charge of a pet brand. The bottom line is there's many different feudal lords, and many of them have money. So how do you team up with the feudal lords? Well, you see guys, many of you are trying to do this directly, but the truth is doing it directly is not exactly the easiest way of connecting with feudal lords, simply because the communication barrier is huge. Plus, platforms don't allow you to communicate directly with feudal lords in America in many of the cases. It's just a gazillion times harder. The culture link missing. There's just so many different reasons why it's so much harder to connect directly with American feudal lords. This is why we created our talent agency called Freedom Fusion System, where we help you get connected with those feudal lords by making it possible for you to find those relationships between one another, by making it possible for you to offer your services, offer your pricing sheet for what it is that you're good at, what it is that your virtual assistants happen to be good at, and offer that to the actual gateway to the feudal lords. And that gateway is going to be your American freedom founder counterpart who happen to be living in America and have an understanding behind whatever it is that you're doing when in terms of providing that remote service from overseas, and be more receptive in terms of working together with you as the service provider, the operator, the freedom founder, and where you get to split the revenue, where you get the feudal share, and the freedom founder gets the feudal share as well. So imagine this: American freedom founders working together with non-American freedom founders to conquer the feudal lords. Just imagine that, and you happen to be in the midst of this journey, and you're connecting with them, and they connect with the feudal lords, and everybody makes money because you get to have that feudal share that the freedom founders offer you. And of course, the freedom founders are happy because they get the feudal share from the feudal lord. And everybody works in gamified cohorts. They play games like Threadsketball or Threads Run Man or other types of interactive social games where they reshare, quote, requote their threads. For example, if it happens to be a threads platform where they're joining together in the same gamified cohort, and as they're doing that, they're promoting the feudal lord. They're growing that feudal kingdom. So, for example, let's say you decided to promote my car detailing brand. In this particular case, obviously, I'm both a freedom founder and a feudal lord, but in other circumstances, it would be like another car detailing company who have a mobile car detailing business, and they happen to be, servicing certain local customers. And in order for you to attract those, this car detailing feudal lord who is servicing different types of customers, what you need is a bridge, a gateway to the feudal lord, and that gateway happens to be those gamified cohorts that you, as the freedom founder, join together with your American counterpart, American freedom founder counterpart, to grow the feudal kingdom of the feudal lord. I hope that makes sense, guys. Now, the best way I can describe how does that look mechanically, it looks like this. You join, you go to freedomfusionsystem.com /JacksPause, This is where you can enroll into a system. You can learn more about system for how to get connected with brands. So this way you can get on a retainer plus commission as an extra gravy. We have a different pricing tiers for Jack Spas. And of course, it doesn't hurt earning multiple revenue streams from simply participating in those different types of opportunities. Our Freedom Fusion System company makes it possible for you to get that opportunity. Think of our Freedom Fusion System talent agency as the gateway to the feudal lords. So the first thing you do, you go to Jack Spas, you take a look at a system to see if this is for you. You start off with something like you start off with the simple concepts of building content to connect with feudal lords who happen to be pet brand owners. You start off with that. Very simple concept. Now, I know we're crisscrossing, we're going back between pet brand, we're going between car detailing brand, but like, where do you start? You start off with multiple streams of income. For you to be able to produce those multiple streams of income, you will need to be registered with our system called Jack Spas. And if you're from India or from another country and you're trying to get connected with those feudal lords, but they're not opening up the doors to their feudal kingdom, they're not opening up those doors, then the only natural thing for you to do is to connect yourself with a talent agency, which is a gateway to the feudal lords. This way you will have a chance, greater chance of being connected with the feudal lords. So when you start out with Jack Spas, this is going to be your first natural place point. This is where you go. This is where you like eventually sign up. But before even joining as the Jack Spas system, before even doing that, what you're really going to be doing, you're going to be visiting freedomfusionsystem.com, and you're going to be filling out one of the funnels that literally asks you, who are you? Are you the freedom founder or the feudal lord? And you go through that funnel, you answer a bunch of questions. This is just to pre-qualify you, because we don't do this with every freedom founder. We don't verify everybody. We only verify the ones that expressed interest. Now, if you want to get connected with feudal lords and expressed interest, that's going to be your first step before joining Jack Spas. So let's say you're from India or from another country and you wanted to make money in American dollars. Now, the best way for you to do that is, obviously, naturally you'll be thinking, well, I need to connect with an American person and do business for them. But what I'm telling you is opposite of that. What I'm telling you is your chances of connecting with American business are going to be slim to none. Why? Well, you see, guys, if you just go direct to the business owner, think about it. Just think about it. There's so many different disconnects, cultural gap, communication gap. Plus, it's even hard for you to even connect with somebody who is in America, simply because many of those social platforms, they literally require the proof that you live in America, you live in a certain address. There's just so many gates that are gatekeeping you from earning that money in American dollars. And we thought about that. We thought, like, man, that gotta be hard for people from India, from overseas, to be striking deals with American feudal lords. We thought about it for the longest time, and we came up with a solution for how to solve this problem. And the problem is, it's a big problem. But, like, luckily, guys, luckily you have a solution, because you're in this channel. The solution is simple. We team up together. You help American counterparts, and those counterparts are freedom founders, other freedom founders in America, who are not necessarily yet feudal lords, maybe on their pathway of becoming a feudal lord one day, but they're in the same cahoots where they want to make money, but obviously they can't do it themselves. They need a little help from somebody like a non-American counterpart like you. A freedom founder, also somebody like you. need that help, they need a little push. So, how does it work? What is the best way to do that? And that's what I'm gonna talk about. The most obvious way for you to connect with the feudal lords is to go through our talent agency. Meaning, we already have connections with feudal lords. We already have access to resources, access to AI tools, established brand. Pepsi, billion-dollar company, already loves our marketing so much that they created a drink. We're fairly popular. It's going to be gazillion times easier for us to convince the feudal lord to work with you versus you going directly to the feudal lord and say, yo, hire me. Obviously, guys, it's tough. It's tough to do that. And obviously, the feudal lords in America, they're really tricky. They don't really want to work like, I mean, they want to work with people from overseas, but it's really hard for them to understand like your mentality, your culture. They need to talk to somebody who's another person who's also in America, and so this way they can connect with you. It's just easier for them. The social platforms literally block you if you don't live in America. If you you can't even post on Nextdoor like an ad. If you don't live in America, you gotta have an American address. So how do we solve that problem for you, for my subscribers who are hungry to make money in American dollars but struggling to do so? Why? Because you can't break through to American feudal lords. How do we solve that problem? Well, guys, the solution to this problem is you register on freedomfusionsystem.com as a freedom founder. Just DM the word PAF in my Insta, reference this video, say I want to become the freedom founder, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to be sent to one of my communities. It's a free community where you're going to provide the list of services and your pricing timesheet. Not the timesheet, but pricing sheet for every one of the services that you offer. When you do that, it's going to be other freedom founders in my community going to be able to see what you offer. And at that point, those freedom founders, some of them are Americans, some of them are non-Americans, then they could jump in and express interest. Now, what you do want to tell them, you want to say, hey, look, we're building a brand. What you got to say is, here's what you're going to say when you're going to join my community. Here's what you're going to precisely tell to the American feudal lords. You're going to tell them, look, my name is, and then you're going to tell your name. And then what you're going to say is, here's my pricing sheet for what I offer for my services. And then you're going to include the ranges of your pricing. And then you're going to say, if anybody wants to go 50-50 with me on the services that I described, then feel free to reach out. That's all we got to say. Okay, guys? Simple, stupid, easy. That's all we got to say. As soon as you do that, the feudal lords are going to be reaching out. And they're going to say, I bet. I want to team up with you. We'll go 50-50. At that particular point, you could go ahead and work with feudal lord directly. Now, the best way to get access to that community is to DM the word PAF on my Insta. When you go through my agency, you're going to provide a couple of things. You're going to fill out a form, and you're just going to let us know who you are, whether you are a freedom founder or a feudal lord. If you're a freedom founder, just select like a freedom founder box and then just specify what you are doing, what your expertise are, what your skills are, your profile, that kind of stuff. If you're feudal lord, then you pick another box called the feudal lord. At the end of the day, you're going to get that gateway to our talent agency, where we get to understand who you are, what you do, and we get to contact you and help you get connected with the feudal lords. Now, if you're not part of our system, if you're not part of our talent agency, then of course we can't represent you as the service provider, the freedom founder, the operator that you want to be. We can't represent you. And because of that, you could be missing out on good income. But if you happen to be a freedom founder who went ahead and registered on our site, all you got to do is just DM PAF on my Insta. Then what we do, we send out newsletters to the feudal lords recommending our freedom founders who we created relationships with. So this way you can earn some extra income. How funny is that, guys? That's really funny, right? So many of you probably be like, oh my God, I never knew anything like this exists. The truth is, guys, all of those big platforms out there, like, they're so saturated, you either A, get squashed by the competitors on all of those platforms, or B, just never end up connecting with any feudal lord who's going to give you any money at all. And as a result, you struggle, you're constantly searching for a bigger thing, but that bigger thing never comes. But together with our talent agency, you have that opportunity, an opportunity to finally get in front of the feudal lords. Then once you specify that, yes, I'm the feudal lord, I want to be spawning extra income, or if you specify, yes, I'm a freedom founder, I want to be spawning that extra income, serving the feudal lords, then at that point we're going to be like, I bet, let's hook you up with our Jackspot system, set you up with some of those gamified cohorts, so this way you could play those games like Threads Bowl or Threads Run Man within those socials. And as you play, you promote the feudal lords, and other freedom founders get to benefit in the process of you promoting, which is pretty cool, because now out of a sudden you're spawning extra income, you're spawning money, promoting together collectively versus being free for all. So now we do have a couple of tiers for Jackspot. We have a starter tier, we have a growth tier, we have several tiers, guys. Now, depending on who you are, let's say if you start out, let's say you approach us and you say, I'm good with funnels, I'm good with AI, I'm good with digital marketing. Okay, how can I make money out of this? Let's say you reach out to that, then of course, there's going to be different pathways for you to navigate through. Now, what we do, we provide that Freedom Fusion path. We have a community called Freedom Fusion Path Community. This is the community that you get access to after you become like a member, after you go through Jackspot system. After you subscribe into Jackspot system, you get access to our Freedom Fusion Path community, where we drop the pills of freedom. Those pills of freedom, think of them as workshops. They get dropped, and you pop those pills of freedom, and you get stronger. Now, keep something in mind, guys. The process for you is very simple. Once you get access to Freedom Fusion Path and start popping those pills, you're also going to be instructed to do certain activities. You're going to be instructed to participate in gamified cohorts. Those gamified cohorts, they take place across multiple socials. One of them is Threads. And on Threads, we have several games. We have Threads Bowl and we have Threads Run Man. Those games you join, and when you join them, you begin playing them, you begin promoting the feudal lords, and finally start earning extra income from every one of those commissions that you end up getting anytime a customer purchases any of the feudal lords products. Now, that could be, the feudal lord could be a car detailing brand, it could be a luxury pet brand, it could be another brand. The bottom line is, it could be multiple brands that you could be serving, multiple feudal kingdoms that you could be growing and earning the feudal share from multiple feudal kingdoms. Now, if you wanted to learn more for how to pull this off, for how to do this in a way where it all makes sense, if you wanted to make it easily available, if you wanted to provide your services for the feudal lords and you wanted to get connected, then DM the word path on my Insta to be taken through this Freedom Fusion path. So this way, once you get access to Jackspot system, once you register as a freedom founder or a feudal lord, then you're going to be passed on to the Jackspot system. And at that point, you could pick one of the tiers. We have tier 1, which is starter tier. We have tier 2, which is a growth tier, and we have a bunch of other tiers as well. You pick a tier, and then you join Freedom Fusion Path community. Once you join that, you'll be able to pop the pills of freedom. Those pills of freedom are distributed by our AI bots. You pop them, and you become smarter. As you become smarter, you get more skills, more brand opportunities, more money. Now, of course, money not based on hours, but not based on efforts, but based on results. Okay, guys, that's the difference. Now, some of you will say, well, okay, I bet I'm ready. Where do I start? What should I do? Guys, all you gotta do is DM the word path on my Insta to join our next gamified cohort. And also, you're gonna be able to resell our products, programs, and services. You're gonna resell our feudal incubators, and we have several feudal incubators. One of them is happens to be Jackspa's, also happens to be our feudal incubator. Now, here's the cool part about our feudal incubators. You get to learn how to build a business and either flip it or keep it. That's the cool part about our feudal incubators. They combine AI, automations, digital faceless marketing, TikTok shop, and of course the business itself, which is, dog pet brand, dog and cat pet brand. And when you join, you become really like stronger. You become like a way stronger in terms of services that you deliver, products that you build, and you get more opportunities. But those opportunities unlock themselves not based on effort, not based on hours, but based on results. Results that you yourself will create only when you start participating together in gamified cohorts, working with other freedom fighters, producing results for the feudal lords. So guys, I'm gonna get going. I quickly described this whole concept. Hopefully you will be joining. If you're interested, DM the word path on my Insta to finally begin serving American feudal lords. I'll see you next time.